I got the call from William Regal actually and was like, hey, we heard what happened. We want to bring you in for a tryout. And I literally, like, my heart dropped and I was like, no way, this is not real. And I was like, oh yeah, like, of course, definitely, I would love to go. So I did my tryout in December. So that was like a full blown out tryout. It was in Orlando at the PC and there was like 50 people. Um, I didn't get chosen from that tryout. So I got invited to like a 3 week tryout in February. And that was pretty brutal because I was at the PC from like 7 or 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. every single day. And we're just like training and they're basically.
Hey guys, we soon gonna talk about the prodigy Roxanne Perez and her rise in the WWE. Tune in more to the Pink Square Circle. Hey guys, we're back at the Pink Square Circle. We'll talk about, is Roxanne Perez a future Women's World Champion? Is she an upcoming major superstar in the WWE? You guys get the likes of us. We come into the Pink Square Circle. We definitely gonna talk about it. Now, Roxanne Perez, for those who don't know, she just been on the WWE Raw main roster maybe for most of this year. She came from NXT. She is a former two-time NXT Women's Champion. She's done a lot in her short time at WWE. I know she got signed back, I want to say late 2020, 2021-ish, maybe 2022, but she's been doing her thing. She had great runs back in NXT when she won the NXT Women's Championship. She one of her first run was, a little bit short. It was about 139 days, I want to say. Then her second run when she won the NXT Women's Championship, that was her longer run. I believe she held onto that belt for, I want to say, almost a year. I want to say nearly a year she held on to that championship. But other than that, she's been doing good, if not a little over a year. But she's been doing great. She's now on WWE Raw. She is with the Judgement Day stable. That's on Monday Night Raw. She's also gained some gold being the one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion alongside Raquel Rodriguez. Since Liv Morgan had her injury, had to vacate her part of the championship. But other than that, Roxanne Perez, she has been putting in the grind. She's been wrestling since she was, I want to say, start training back at 13 years old. She's been in promotions such as Ring of Honor and been in Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. She's done all that even before going to NXT. She's had great leadership that she's been under with Booker T and others. She had a great mentor. She's learned a lot in her short career, and now she's on a Raw roster. And I believe what she's done so far, she's going to be one of the premier women in the women's division. And I could definitely see her being a women's world champion in the near future. If not the WWE Women's World Champion, maybe the WWE Women's Champion. But she definitely has a bright future alongside of her. I'll give her that. She's great in the ring. Now, I didn't like her as a babyface at first, but she's a great heel. She's still a heel now. But she started off as a babyface, but I want to say Roxanne Perez definitely is one of the best women on the roster. I know her promos ain't as strong as like the Becky Lynch and others as far as the promo go and Bailey, but she's getting her way. She's getting there, and she's getting much better. So I give her credit. She recently did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and that's also an interview with Denise Salcedo, where she talked about her grind to WWE and what she's been doing. But I will say that Roxanne Perez, she's definitely not slowing down. But let's see what she had to say in an interview with Chris Van Vliet here.
I think now it's like good pressure. I think like how I said before, it was the pressure of like, okay, am I the prodigy?
Yeah,
Am
can you
I?
live up to that?
Yeah, can I live up to that? Am I as good as I say I am when I'm surrounded by all these people? And now I'm like, yeah, I am the prodigy. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I can hang in the ring with Alexa Bliss. I can hang in the ring with Meiko Satomura, with Asuka, with all these women, and I'm like, yeah, like I feel like I finally solidified myself as what I say I am.
When did you start to feel comfortable with your promos?
I think when I turned heel, and I felt like almost every week I was getting handed a page long promo to do in ring. And at first that was really scary because, like I said, promos weren't my forte.
And are they expecting you to say it word for word?
No. Sean used to say, like, you don't have to memorize this word for word. I came up in theater, so I find it easier to memorize than to just go out there and have like bullet points. Even if it's like from my own words, I can like write something and memorize it, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. But
Do you break it down like a script? Like how you would break down a script in acting?
yeah,
Like
pretty
you're
much.
writing notes on the side and crossing things out and
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
circling words, underlining words.
Yeah.
Like when you look at an actor's sides or script, it's like, oh wow, like it's a worksheet.
yeah, yeah. That's basically how I look at it.
Wow.
And I'll like divide them into paragraphs myself, and like, also memorize it by like the story, like what's the story I'm trying to tell. And that'll help me if I do get off track and I forget to memorize something. But yeah, when I started being a heel is when I got way more comfortable. Obviously doing like page long promos every week, it gets you comfortable. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's like-
grateful that I got to do that.
You're like exercise. It just seems to me like heels have so much more fun.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun as a heel.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And just the vibe of the Judgment Day as a whole. It's like they come up on the camera, come up on the screen, and it's like, we don't like these people. But at the same time, we know this is going to be very...
From William Regal actually, and was like, hey, we heard what happened. We want to bring you in for a tryout. And I literally, like, my heart dropped, and I was like, no way, this is not real. And I was like, oh yeah, like, of course, definitely, I would love to go. So I did my tryout in December. So that was like a full blown out tryout. It was in Orlando at the PC, and there was like 50 people. I didn't get chosen from that tryout. So I got invited to like a 3-week tryout in February. And that was pretty brutal because I was at the PC from like 7 or 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. every single day, and we're just like training, and they're basically just trying to like break you down to see like, are you gonna quit or not? And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna quit. Like, this is my dream. So yeah, it was kind of a long process, but honestly, like, I'm so glad that I got that second tryout because like, it was just, I met so many like great people there, and I just learned so much, and like learned so much about myself too, and now I'm finally here, so yeah, it was all worth it.
Now, Roxanne Perez, when she first won the NXT Women's Championship, it was from then champion Mandy Rose. Now, she had on to the belt 413 days before her exit from WWE. I will say Roxanne Perez, not the best champion, babyface when she had her first run, but she definitely stepped up in her second run when she was champion. Now, that championship, like I said earlier, she held on for almost a year, 276 days for her second run. Her first run, I want to say, was 109 days. So, but she definitely put in the work, well deserved. But we got to talk about her performances since she's been on the main roster. Now, Roxanne Perez, she did her thing at the Royal Rumble this year. She definitely outshined a lot of people. She got so far in the Royal Rumble, she was the runner-up to eventual winner Charlotte Flair. She's even has the record right now currently for longest time ever spent in the Women's Royal Rumble. And she's definitely holding on to that record. Don't be surprised if she wins the Rumble in the near future. Now, she didn't stop there. She also put on a great performance in the Women's Elimination Chamber this year, 2025. She was also in there. She in the qualifying. She put out a great performance there. She didn't win the Women's Elimination Chamber. We know that went to Bianca Belair. But it does not change the fact that Roxanne Perez still did her thing. And we thought she would stop there, but she didn't. She also was in this year's Women's Money in the Bank ladder match that she put a great performance in. Her and Alexa Bliss did their thing, but that eventually the winner of that was Naomi. You know, she won that. But Roxanne Perez, she is definitely destined for great things. Now, don't be surprised. If she don't win the Royal Rumble, she could win an Elimination Chamber match for a number one contendership or the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match in the near future. But I will say this, Roxanne Perez, WWE is definitely behind her. They definitely see a future alongside her. Besides Stephanie Walker and Tiffany Stratton and Julia, she is one of those top women that they see in the near future in the women's division. She's going to win a championship. She's already won the women's tag team championship alongside one of the best women's tag team competitors, which is Raquel Rodriguez. So she's in a very popular stable. They have high hopes for Roxanne Perez. The only thing I just want to say, Roxanne Perez, just as long as she stay healthy, stay level-headed and determined like she's been doing, she's definitely going to get to the top. I don't see why they would not be pushing Roxanne Perez. I mean, she has a lot of people vouching for her. She has Booker T, who mentored her in reality of wrestling, back when she was much younger. You have CM Punk, who's also been a mentor to Roxanne Perez, and Shawn Michaels also, was over her in NXT. So a lot of people are behind Roxanne Perez. Some people may feel indifferent about her with her promos and such or how she wrestles, but I think she's good. And she's in a great place, definitely a great place with WWE. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this whole Judgment Day storyline. She could be the one to, who knows, her and Raquel Rodriguez may have a feud. Or when Liv Morgan returns from her shoulder injury, she can have a feud with her as well. But she is definitely entertaining on screen. And I hope they keep her as a heel. I don't want her going back to the babyface character. I just don't think that is it for Roxanne Perez. Other than that, she's good. I mean, I don't see her doing two more tag teams, but she will if she don't get to the Women's World Championship or the WWE Women's Championship. I do see her becoming the Women's Intercontinental Championship or the Women's United States Champion. She could win one of those belts as well. So don't sleep on Roxanne Perez, guys. She's the prodigy for a reason. Now I know she's small, short, but Alexa Bliss is also small and short, and look how great her career has gone. So I think Roxanne Perez is on the path to being there. She could be the next women's superstar who is short, that could be a women's world champion and have a great, great career, a Grand Slam champion maybe. You never know. She's definitely up there, and I don't see any otherwise why they wouldn't get behind Roxanne Perez unless she does something silly or she has injuries, which I really hope does not happen to her. But she is definitely on her way, and I will say that she did not get here on being a second, third generation superstar. She didn't have no nepotism, no none of that. She worked on her own. She said the interview with Denise Salcedo earlier that she did she didn't make the first trial, but she came back for a second tryout and she put that work in. And WWE was mainly testing her to see, does she have what it takes to become a WWE superstar? And she passed on all cylinders, and she's proved that time and time again that this is her dream since she was a little girl, and she wants to stay here. She wants to do whatever it takes to become the best of the women's division and become the very best version of herself. And she's shown that time and time again. I don't see her slowing down any bit of sort. But she's deserved everything that she's gotten so far. Because she was on NXT for quite some time. I want to say maybe, 4 years. I want to say she was on there a while. So we'll see what's going to happen with Roxanne Perez next. And that's all I have for is Roxanne Perez a future Women's World Champion? Is she an upcoming major superstar? You guys let me know what you think of Roxanne Perez. Click the link below to the next video. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later.